Hello and welcome to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Make sure to find the Raptors Show wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe, and please rate and review the show. I'm your host, Wayne Lou. I'm joined by co-host Blake Murphy and, for the last time, co-host Alex Wong. What's going on, Alex? What are your emotions like at this current moment?
Yeah, I was riding my Uber Black here to work at 1:15 today, and I was getting a little emotional. I think this week, with the news coming out and stuff, getting a lot of messages and all this stuff, and doing the show for the last time with you guys today and talking to a lot of people at work, it's really hitting me. But excited to do the show, excited to talk about the Utah Jazz today.
That's right. Everyone's favorite subject, the Utah Jazz, the red hot Utah Jazz. So this is what we have for you today, because I like doing the rundown.
Did you read it today?
Just do the show. Kind of. I'm reading it now.
Oh,
we're gonna do a quick little thing on what happened in the NBA last night. Just a whole bunch of blowouts. A team in Portland called the Trailblazers lost by 62 points.
Well, you're giving it all away now.
Disgusting.
Please go on.
We're gonna talk about the Raptors, and just offensively, they've been taking this leap. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the game tonight that's taking place between the Raptors and the Jazz. We'll go through around the NBA for at least one last time with Alex. I'm pretty sure we're going to steal this segment going forward, Alex, so I hope you're okay with that.
I have no ownership of anything.
You don't have ownership around the NBA.
I checked my contract.
We're going to go around the NBA. And then in segment 3 and segment 4, we will talk more about your departure. We got some surprises for you, some tributes, video messages, things like that.
Yeah, some which I already saw yesterday at your desk.
Don't worry, I had to edit somewhere, and it was in the office. But still, hoops for the first hour, and then
we got a show. We got a show to do. So we got to,
of course,
we got to stay professional. And I know I always set the tone here and that. So yeah, Blake, what happened in the NBA last night, man? I was out checking the score, and I think the Thunder were up by 62 points at some point, and they ended up winning by that margin.
It was just a cascade of bad basketball. So when we were on air yesterday, that Nets-Cavaliers game was on, and it ended up a 9-point game, but that was a blowout from halftime. That was not a competitive basketball game. The Nets look really, really bad lately. Then we get into, even before we got to the Thunder-Blazers thing, the Bucks were blowing out the Celtics so bad at halftime that not only did the Celtics not play their starters in the second half, I can't remember the last time I saw this, TNT flexed the game out.
Yeah.
They were like, we're done with this. Bucks against Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser.
First of all, they're allowed to do that?
Apparently they are.
I did not know that.
I didn't know they were allowed to do that.
It got changed off of the Bucks Celtics game, because it was the Celtics waved the white flag at halftime, second night of a back-to-back, coming off that huge win the night before that I think we're going to talk about their home record a little later. So that happened, and then the Thunder are beating the Trailblazers. They ended up winning by 62 points. You're right. That is the 5th largest margin of victory in NBA history. A couple years ago, Memphis beat the early rebuild Thunder by 73. 152 to 79.
Wow.
And then any other ones, you got to go back to the 90s, even the 70s for any other time a team has been beat this badly. So that was ugly. And then, the Suns-Lakers nightcap wasn't close at any point. And even Mavericks-Knicks, that game ended up a 4-point game. The Mavericks were running away with that one, and they somehow managed to come back enough to salvage OG's plus-minus streak and make sure that in what looked like a blowout loss, he still had a plus 14. But it was so weird, man. And some of this is random, obviously. Some of this is on the NBA, where you put Celtics-Bucks as your primetime TNT game on a Thursday night when one of those teams is on the second night of a travel back-to-back. You could schedule these national televised games a little better. Mostly, I just think we're hitting a point in the season where the teams that know they're bad are real bad, and the teams that know they're good, like the Celtics, aren't going to care that much about second night of a back-to-back. Why try to turn a 30-point loss into a 12-point loss? It was ugly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NBA regular season a cooked product, or what?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think it was just an anomaly last night.
Yeah.
But you also know it was a really bad anomaly because typically if you're not tuning in for the game and cards on the table, me and Alex, we along with friend of the program, Faisal, we went to Simple Things and had a great meal there. So shout out to the fine folks at Simple Things.
Yeah, please check out the new menu. We also we sat next to Aaron Rose's cousin.
Okay.
Who recognized Will. And
you recognize all three of us.
Yeah, but he recognized you, and then he was like, oh yeah, I think you guys know my cousin Aaron. And I was like, Aaron Rose? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he ask, hey, is
Shouts to
Simple
Spencer as
Things
well.
for all Raptors media or just for you guys?
Please, come on. Trust you.
For anyone who doesn't know, that's Parkdale, right? Simple
Yes,
Things?
It's Parkdale, yeah.
We did make a North of Brooklyn joke, so you were on point there.
No, that was sick. That was sick. But we didn't watch. But then as you typically do, it's like, okay, you're not tuning into basketball. Let me go through your my timeline, go through some YouTube, and just catch up. And I saw Kyrie's 40-point effort, and it's always fun to watch Kyrie play.
Yeah, you love Kyrie. Yeah.
Who doesn't love watching Kyrie Irving? Are you kidding me? And then I was looking through the timeline. And I was like, man, only clip I saw shared all night was just Precious Achiuwa.
Oh, the over the head pass.
Great defensive play, dive to save the ball, wildly chuck the ball over your head in transition when
Directly back to the Mavericks.
I almost feel bad talking about
man.
Precious. Sometimes.
I don't. I love the experience Knicks fans are having with him.
Man,
Yeah.
are we tracking Precious's plus minus? By the way, because
No.
OG's
Well, I think
plus
I
125
think that's
now.
part of the plus minus. I think Precious subs in for OG sometimes.
Actually, the only clip I saw was Thanasis getting a standing ovation, checking in. He apparently out-hooped Jason Tatum last night. So
Really?
there's that. Yeah.
Dominican Tatum showed up again?
Oh no.
Precious is minus 17.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's not bad. That's
Okay.
not bad. I mean, they've been winning though, so.
Yeah, they're 5-1.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways.
Anyway, bad night of
Thanasis
basketball.
did something else silly
He had a
too
big
when he
dunk or
checked
something.
into the game. I can't
Really?
remember. He got a tech immediately or something or a charge or something. I saw people clowning on him. I forget what it is.
Yeah.
Now. My brain is made of mush. NBA games, such a bad slate of games that I watched a little bit of the Leaf game last night, trying to help, trying to make sure I'm ready for Sunday. When,
How'd they do?
they lost in overtime. They're actually they have a weird thing. They're on pace to shatter the NHL record for most games that went to overtime.
Okay.
So they've already lost 8 times in overtime.
So this is the least clutch team in the league, essentially?
Yes, but it's also weird because it's 3-on-3. It's not the same overtime you play in the playoffs. So who cares?
Yeah, what if that happened in basketball?
You just play 3-on-3
You go to
for
OT and it's 3-on-3?
No, I think basketball should have ties. Imagine if a basketball game just ended in a tie. Precious just heaves a three and both teams just walk off.
The Kawhi shot misses and it goes to game 8.
Yeah. No, at that point you'd have to go on aggregate, right? You just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we would have lost.
No, but like you guys were saying, Boston was on a second half of a back-to-back.
schedule the marquee games better, man.
Yeah.
That's fair.
No, I think that's a really good point because Adam Silver, shouts to the big dog, friend of the program.
Damn, that's not even a joke.
Yeah, no, he.
Oh, wow.
He's
enjoying all the banter.
He's made an emphasis on making the regular season matter more, putting in these rules where people can't load manage. You got to step up on your end too, right?
Yeah,
you have to step up on your end.
And the NBA has, to your point about load manage and back-to-backs and things like that, the NBA actually released a medical study this week to select media members. I was not one of them. So I'm paraphrasing based off reports from people like Tim Bontemps, and there are a couple around the league who got a hold of this information. And hello,
Someone just walked in the room.
Got a hold of this information, and
We're live on air right now.
Sorry about that, guys. I lost my train of thought.
Everybody want to say goodbye to Alex.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, big dog?
It was just a random technician that just walked in.
Sorry, I should be more professional than to lose my train off of that.
No,
but
my bad, bro.
he came in twice. It's
This
not
was
your
very
bad.
distracting. He started talking to us.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay. So the NBA has given these reports out to media, and they're obviously sharing them with teams as well. But an epidemiologist at IQVIA Injury Surveillance and Analytics has been studying 10 years worth of player injury data and trying to control for how many minutes do you play? Do you have an injury history? Are you taking rest days? Things like that. And again, I haven't seen this 57-page report. I am not an epidemiologist, so I can't verify myself. I'm a little skeptical of the conclusion from this, which is that schedule density, so how many, if you're on 4th game in 5 nights, no impact on injury rate. If you have rested, if you've sat out one night of a back-to-back for rest, for load management, no impact on injury. Your cumulative participation. So if you're in year 5 of a championship window and you've averaged 40 minutes a game every year, no discernible impact on injury rate. Basically, at that point, you would conclude that injury rate is random. I don't think that, how can you look at Kawhi's career and be like, injury rate is random? This is all just random stuff that's happened to the same areas of your. Anyway, so this is what and again, they're not, the doctor who put this together says, like, this does not suggest that missing games or load managing or having rest doesn't help, but there's no correlation between if you did that or not and your rate of injuries. So this is something I would imagine the Players Union is going to have their own people studying this kind of stuff and making some counters, because if the league tries to, the league has obviously pushed on, rest and things like Jimmy Butler's already on pace to, are you even going to be all NBA eligible, Jimmy, because you've missed so many games?
Well, every time Embiid misses a game now, it's like a threat. It's like, you miss if you miss 9 more games, you can't get MVP.
Because you only get 17.
Yeah.
Under the new rules, unless there's like special circumstances or whatever.
Embiid gonna miss exactly 16.
Yeah,
and they're all going to be against playoff teams.
What's
not against the Charlotte Hornets.
What's this narrative of Embiid ducking good teams, man?
No. It's just like, it's one of those like Embiid versus Jokic stand kind of arguments.
Oh god,
Jokic is like the Jokic fans are like, oh, when Jokic plays a bad team like Detroit, he just shoots 3 times and only passes the ball, which he actually did, by the way. He only had like 4 points.
Oh,
but he was 2 of 3 from the field, had like 15 assists and 4 blocks. He just clearly wasn't trying. Meanwhile, Embiid goes out there and he's like, all right, let me drop 50 on these guys.
Yeah, I don't like this medical report thing. Like, it seems like they're just basically like telling the players to like man up, like you should play, and it's like these should be all individual decisions. Like Kawhi's such a good example. Like he literally doesn't have like a degenerative condition.
Yeah, tendinopathy. I think they called it at one point. So apologies if I'm remembering that wrong.
Every player's got to make a decision based on their own like health and well-being.
And like, look, even if
you're not the person to decide when to work and when not to work. Sorry. You're the auto porter of this show, baby.
I'm not happy with my big dog Adam Silver with this stuff.
Yeah,
man.
and it's like, I get why the league would try to do this, but to like release the report to select media members, none of whom, like, obviously the 3 of us did not go to medical school. Tim Bontemps, Sam Amick, whoever are getting these did not go to medical school either. Like, I can express skepticism, but most people are probably looking at this and being like, well, it's 57 pages. It comes from a doctor. They did all this study, and it says that load management isn't really a thing. I would be shocked if the Players Union is not already like undergoing their own that pushes back on this a little bit and is like, hey, you can't wage a PR battle against players and teams taking care of their bodies and really, like, this is all rooted in, it's not rooted in players not wanting to play. Like the Kawhi Leonard load management thing was 10,000% about, we have to have him healthy for the playoffs or none of this stuff matters. Who cares about those 22 games during the regular season that you may or may not win when he's out if he's not something close to, not even 100%, capable of playing 24 playoff games? Because he wasn't 100% by the end, but he played in all 24 playoff games.
Yeah. And I think the flip side of that is the Clippers have taken great care of Kawhi's health in the regular season, and then he gets to playoffs and he still gets injured. So it's, there certainly is some validity to the idea of that it could just be random, but it's hard not to see it as like a PR battle, I suppose, because it is quite convenient the following, or the findings that they came up with. But
yeah, it's anyway, it's a weird thing to watch, and it's I don't know if they were like holding on to this information and waiting for the right time to drop it, but coming off of a night where everyone was like, why is this game on TNT? And the NBA can be like, well, you shouldn't rest guys on back-to-back. It's not, it's not medically sound or whatever.
Yeah, it's bad one. I can't believe they flexed the game. That I don't know if that's a first.
I just didn't know it was
really
allowed.
impressive.
And then didn't they like milk a cow in the post game or something? Like
that
Shaq,
part
Charles,
I missed.
Okay. No, they brought an actual cow to the studio. I'm not making this up, guys.
It does sound like you're making it up.
No, man. JR and I were just talking about this. Shaq was milking a cow.
All right.
In the post game.
Cool.
Like, is this the product that the NBA wants?
Yeah, I don't know, man. We've had Matt and Jack like sing and talk about Ron Jeremy and stuff. Never milk a cow during the broadcast.
I think,
trust me, it'll be up on the next one.
The
next episode.
The other thing I've seen people suggest is like, oh, should the timing of the in-season tournament be later in the season? Like maybe is January, February, but then that's heading almost to the playoffs. And that's like trade deadline. Teams are starting to want to get serious about stuff. I don't know. Like,
can we just not accept one brick day though? Like, it was just one bad day in the league. Like, it happens.
And wasn't Wednesday like a really good night in the NBA? Am I remembering that wrong? I know the Raptors had the late game, but there were like were really good games.
Celtics Wolves was like a classic, right?
Yeah, there was a couple OT games. Was it the Hawks went to overtime with someone with the 76ers?
So we're overreacting.
Johnson was huge in that one.
Yeah. We're overreacting. We're just bantering.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Adam Silver appreciates the banter, obviously.
Yeah, Derek, we've been trying to tell you to play the damn drop, man.
Yeah, how many Adam Silver references you got to make? Anyway,
anyways.
I'm enjoying all the banter.
Hard. There's different depths. There's levels.
Hard.
Yeah,
There we
depths.
go. There
There's
we go.
I don't know,
different
we're
depths to this.
Just spamming all the buttons.
There's
now.
different depth.
There it is.
Like if you just sat on the soundboard. You just hear like 25 drops at once.
All right, so Raptors. What do you
Yes.
guys want to talk about with respect to the Raptors?
So
We're coming for the #1 seed in the East, baby.
For context, the Raptors official account record these like post-game fan videos at the arena.
yeah.
I did that after they beat the Pistons by 16.
Yo, how we feeling, man? How we feeling?
And everybody in the comments were like, yo, Sportsnet, come get your man.
and then they did.
Yo, they really did. Yo, they packed me up. All right, Raptors.
That's not what happened here. Let's be clear.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so this morning I was thinking about like what we're gonna do for the show and stuff like that, and it's I don't want to just talk about quickly.
Me?
And
Oh, I
RJ
thought you meant
again.
like I don't just
No,
want to talk
we're gonna
about
talk
you.
enough about you, man. Could you just do it?
I can't wait. I can't wait, guys.
Hey, we can tell, man. It's like Christmas for you.
Oh
Bye,
man.
Felicia.
And I was thinking about, okay, Raptor wise, what else is new about this team? And, really what's new about the team is that offensively, they went from the start of the season, the three of us sitting here, and Blake giving us the stats about like, this is the worst half court offense
Yeah.
since the process Sixers.
Tony
Okay.
Roten is running the Raptors offense.
Yeah, we were reminiscing about that. And then now, since the trade, the Raptors are fourth in offensive rating at 124 points per 100 possessions. This is from Positive Residual on Twitter. It's just like a stats kind of page. The Raptors have been above 65% true shooting as a team 7 times this season. 4 of them have come in their last 4 games. This is after the Clipper game. So 4 straight games of 65% true shooting as a team or better. And then I looked it up. There's 7 players during this time in the 6 games since that are averaging double digits in scoring. And some of them are just absurd. Like Pascal's at 62% shooting from the field. RJ shooting 60 from the field. If anyone wants to, is a little bit curious as to whether the numbers will drop a little bit. I just don't think he'll shoot 60. Dennis is at 57% from the field. So, yeah, Blake, like, how sustainable is this? Like, can we just get used to life now as the Raptors being elite offensively?
Not elite. I don't think so.
Okay.
And I've expressed some skepticism about the ability of this to keep up. And, as we dive in, like, look, no team is going to shoot as well over the course of the season as the Raptors have shot the last 6 games. And on paper, the Raptors still don't actually have a lot of shooting. They still have, RJ's been red hot, but if we look at his career numbers, he's an okay shooter. Quickly and Gary Trent Jr. are really the only like plus shooter with a track record of shooting. Scotty's obviously been way better this year. Pascal's been hot the last 15 or 18 games or so. But certainly your bigs aren't spacing the floor. Pascal was in an extended slump there. This is a new skill for Scotty. Dennis doesn't really shoot the 3 a ton. So some of that'll come back down a little bit. Like the Raptors, you mentioned they're 4th in offensive rating. They're 3rd in effective field goal percentage during that time. So that's field goal percentage that gives you the boost for 3-point shooting. Underneath that, so what are some of the warning signs? Well, they're still not getting to the free throw line very much, even though RJ has been a nice boost in that regard. So you worry about, hey, if the shots aren't dropping, are you getting easy points? The answer to that is yes in transition, but no at the free throw line. And then the other thing is they've become like almost the worst offensive rebounding team in the league over this stretch. I don't know if that is...
It could be matchup dependent. They played some big centers.
It could be matchup dependent. It could be, hey, we're a little more susceptible defensively the way we're oriented now, so we got to prioritize getting back a little bit more. Could be even something as simple as like every team has different crashing principles. Tom Thibodeau's teams are always crazy conservative, and RJ and Quickly might just have to take some time to find their spots where they can crash from. Like the Raptors are an active... You can crash from the corners anytime. Just get back in transition if you miss. And if you're on the wing or at the top, you only crash as far as the elbow. And then if the ball doesn't come to you, you get back. The Knicks are basically you do not crash unless you're Mitchell Robinson. That's kind of their scheme.
So that's all they actually need. Him and Josh Hart could probably get you like 10 offensive rebounds just by the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so those are some of the like warning signs you're looking for. I think in terms of encouraging signs, certainly the way they've looked in transition, RJ's ability on the second side to take advantage of the attention Scotty and Pascal are getting when Jakob's there, just a little more natural of a pick and roll partner. But probably the biggest thing to me is that within all this hot shooting, within all this passing, because they're still moving the ball around a ton, they've got Keeks tweeted out the other day that this is the longest streak of 25 plus assist games in NBA history other than the Warriors over this Warriors era. So longest streak ever for a non-Warriors team. Within all of that, the Raptors also aren't turning the ball over at all. So if you're talking about can this scale, can this sustain, can you still be a good offense if the 3-point shooting drops a little bit? The fact that you are making all these passes, doing all these cool things, and not coughing up the ball is really, really encouraging to me, especially when we consider like, hey, these guys are all new together right now. You're not seeing those like, we don't know each other. We didn't read that right. I didn't know where you were going to cut or where you wanted the ball turnovers. We're not seeing that. They play pretty clean basketball. So I mean, I just answered a lot because that's what I do, unfortunately. But in terms of what you take from that, Will, or what is most encouraging or discouraging to you, like fourth in offense probably isn't going to happen, but this can be a good offensive team. What is most notable to you that you're like, yeah, I think this is real to stick around?
So I think it's two things. Number one, the second unit was cratering the offense for the whole team.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Not to pick on the guys that are no longer here, but moving Dennis to the second unit has really helped give the second unit like an organizer, a guy who can get you some buckets late in shot clocks, can set guys up, play at a faster pace for the second unit as well. And yeah, I mean, him and Gary is still like, I mean, it's still hit or miss, but he's at 11 points per game in the last, 6. And he's shooting 47%, 48% from 3. Like, decent. Obviously Dennis has been great going to the second unit. That's really helped. Even Jonte coming into the stretch has really helped. It just feels like the offense is not just dying piece by piece every time a starter subs out like it was at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect. I think the other aspect, obviously, is the newcomers coming in and adding just a balance to the offense. I mean, when you look at the last 6 games, Pascal's at 24 per game to lead the group. Again, shooting 62% from the field, including 61% from 3. It's kind of absurd. RJ's second in scoring at 22 per game. He's shooting 59.3% from the field and 54% from 3. Those things will probably come down just like it will for Pascal, but still, super efficient. Quickly is third at 19.2. So he's bumped his scoring coming over from New York as a starter, which is not a surprise. Field goal percentage overall, 2s, he's kind of only shooting at 40%, but on 3s, he's shooting 46% on 3s at 6 a game. And I honestly think that should be closer to 10 when he gets more and more comfortable. Scotty's fourth in scoring at 17 here, so it's a dip for him. Mm-hmm. But part of that is just because he's not shooting the 3 as well. He's at 47% shooting from the field overall and 32 from 3. It feels like Scotty's just making 1 fewer 3 a game. Otherwise, he'd be exactly at his averages of 20 per game for the season. And then Jakob is just Jakob. I mean, there are certain matchups where you're going to find him on the roll. Some matches you won't. But yeah, that's 7 guys that you can consistently count on for like positive play who can contribute some kind of factor in offense. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be 4th overall just because offensively, I think you do need like a next level talent to sustain that. But at the same time, they're playing really good team basketball. Like the fact that they got 7 guys scoring, over 10 a game efficiently is pretty good. Alex, what are you seeing? What's the eye test giving you on these guys?
No, I think coming into this season, there was a lot of emphasis on like, Darko wanting them to play a different style, the ball movement, and like, you guys mentioned like the assist numbers and all this stuff. I think it's finally paying dividends, playing this type of way on offense now that, like you guys mentioned, there's just better players, right? Like,
better players who can play what Darko wants to do.
Yeah, exactly. And like you see the ball moving around and more organically, I feel like. And it's like, not to pick on OG, but it's like when in the previous offense, I just felt like there was a lot of like certain possessions where like, OG was like, okay, I'm going to take this possession here. And then like, Pascal would have certain possessions where he's like, I'm going to take this here. Mm-hmm. And it just seemed like they were just always taking turns at times. And it never felt like the offense had like a continuous like flow to it. Yeah. Whereas now when you watch them against the Lakers and the Clippers and on all these games, like it does seem like there's just a purpose to how they're playing. Mm-hmm. And it's not like guys trying to take turns and get their shot attempts. Because there was times where it did feel like that. And I think that's the origins of like Masai's like selfish comments.
And to the point about selfishness and Darko wanting the ball to move around, I mean, in this stretch here, there's 6 guys averaging more than 3 assists. Mm-hmm. 6 guys, like Pascal's at 4, RJ's at 3.5.
Yeah.
Quickly's at 6.2. He's the point guard. Scotty's the other point guard at 5.7.
This is like when the Magic posted the Shelvin Mack graphic. He led the team with 3.3 assists.
Congrats to Sahal Abdi, man. That was a sick achievement. Dennis Schroeder at 5 off the bench, and then Jakob with 3.3.
So this is how we're hitting 3s. 3 assists for each player.
Yeah. Can we have a pizza party for these 6 guys? No, seriously though. Like
No, it's a
the
good
ball
point.
movement is nice, and even obviously the last couple games Jakob hasn't been available, so Thad and Jonte have come in. Even they come in and dime guys up. So
Yeah.
it does look like at least like the vision that Darko had for the offense is coming together more and more. And I think that what's credible about this is even before the trade, the Raptors offense was ticking upward. It's just their defense completely cratered, and we lost to teams like the Pistons. But you could just put that aside for now. So
yeah, and the defense has not been good since the trade. By the way,
Are we worried about that side? Like super worried?
Worried in that, like, we knew we should have expected this, right? Like, you take OG away, you're obviously going to be worse defensively. I'm honestly still more worried about the fact that the defense had gotten as bad as it had before the trade.
Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah, long term, obviously, you want to build a team, whatever, a two-way team, but it's like having a team that is above average and at this point, like really good, elite on one end, is way more fun to watch than a team that is just mid.
It's fun to watch.
Then it's just the team was just mid on both ends. Like, you know, like, no, but they were though.
That's a sick album title. Mid on both ends.
Radiohead. No, but it's like, that was what we were watching for the last like 3 years, 2.5 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
But someone did point out to me last year the Raps were like 11th in offense.
It was an offensive rating because they didn't turn the ball over and they crashed for an offensive rebound.
And they were like by far the best transition offense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was not watching it. It was not an 11th best.
Yeah, I think I used this stat early in the year when we were teeing stuff up, but they got like 750 more shooting possessions than their opponents last year because of their turnover and rebounding game.
Yeah, it's like saying you're wealthy because you got a bunch of coupons. Like, no.
Yeah, that's possible. But like, yeah, like it just wasn't fun. And I don't know. And listen, man, at the end of the day, it's not about having fun. Wins and losses are important.
Okay, Masai.
No, but like they're 15 and 23. Yeah. But like I think short term right now, there's just a jolt of energy to like this team and watching these games.
Going to be tested, this new offense, the next little bit. So after tonight, Utah's been okay defensively during this hot streak, and we'll get to them a little bit. Overall, they're kind of meh defensively. But after tonight, 10 of their next 11 games are against average to better defenses. They got one soft spot.
When is the schedule easing up, man? I feel like every game we play is like an uphill battle.
We're gonna get Detroit again soon.
Guess what? When you're the 20th best team in the league, 19 teams feel like a tough.
No, but what I want to see is them like play like Indiana, Milwaukee. I want to see if this offense can like outgun another offense. Like if you want to
go far, you want to go bar for bar.
Yeah,
with Tyrese Halliburton.
no, but it's like if this offense has shown what it has shown so far, and we like expect this regression from certain players, but I want to see like if your offense is that good, you got to be an offense that can just outscore teams and beat them at their own game.
So you don't have a ton of those on the schedule. You do have Atlanta coming up in a couple weeks at the start of a 6-game road trip, but really you don't get those teams until other than like. You've got San Antonio and Charlotte sprinkled in. Like you've got bad defensive teams. But like Indiana is one of their first post-trade deadline matchups. They see the Hawks again and the Pacers again right after that as well. You see Dallas early after that.
So there's a real chance that Pascal returns to see the Raptors. I'm kidding.
Yeah, post-deadline, you're getting that test, Alex. You are going to get to see that. But for right now, it's going to be, now, can you do this against good defenses? 10 of the next 11 after tonight. Against good defenses.
They've done it so far, you know. Doing that to the Clippers and the Lakers was, you know, made me feel something.
Yeah. Good losses.
That sounds so weird. But those are good losses.
Good moral victories.
Feel good losses. Yeah.
No, it is, man. It feels good right now. I think that's the other thing I was going to ask you guys. Like we're almost halfway to the season now.
Yeah.
Like, and we know what the standings are. The Raptors are like what, 12th right now? I think. Like, do you guys care about the standings in terms of like, oh, I want them to get to the 9-10 game. You know what I mean? Like,
I always prefer to see them win, man.
Because it's getting to that space where they can't slip that much in the standings now.
Well, it's almost impossible for them to catch the teams below them at this point.
The problem is it's also impossible for them to fall out of the race for 10th. Like they're gonna,
as you said, mid on both ends.
No, but they're gonna be there with Atlanta and Brooklyn. Like that's what it's gonna be.
So my answer to this is I don't really care if they end up at 42 wins versus 38 wins. What I care about is like the conversations we've had this week about how the energy's changed, how much more spirit there is, how much better they've looked offensively. They're playing these really good teams tight. That's really, really fun. If we are still talking about, oh, they look good in losses come middle of February, I think that like at some point you will need to see this chemistry continue to build in ways that you're winning games, especially against the kind of teams you're talking about, Alex, not only offensive first teams, but the other teams who are in this kind of in between where like, no, you're not a threat in the playoffs, but you're not bad enough. Like, are you looking like you're significantly better than Brooklyn? Are you looking like you're significantly better than Atlanta? Are you looking like you're better than this Bulls team that's turned it around? Those are the kind of games where like, yeah, I would like to see proof of concept that this is building to something where, yeah, you've got the upward mobility. Because right now everything's really, really fun. They're 3-3. It's not. It's better than things had been. You know, I think if they're 9-9, 18 games in with this core, people like the utility of that'll fade a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's new and exciting for now, at least.
No, but this kind of brings me back to the start of the season when everybody was excited in the preseason and being like, "Oh, the vibes are great." And I'm hearing some of these conversations again.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to wonder, like, are we just setting these goals again of like, oh, the vibes are great?
No,
and that's good enough.
I think there's a little bit better of you can see where things could improve from here.
Yeah.
Whereas at the start of this season, there wasn't really that. It was, well, maybe Scotty will go supernova.
Yeah.
And that was your entire upside. And here it's not. Like now you can at least
Now
see a
there's
path
more.
a little bit more.
Now there's
do you,
more.
Do you care? Like, does it make a difference to you if this team is the 9th seed with 41 wins versus they finish 11th with 37?
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It's like more care about like the big picture, like what this team looks like. I guess you only care because of that. I don't know, man. How much do we care about that Spurs pick again? Like the pick that we might give to the Spurs?
I personally, if I were the Raptors, would prefer to convey it this year.
Okay.
Because then that opens you up. You don't have trade restrictions on your first. Next year is supposed to be a better draft than this year.
Yeah.
You've acquired the top second round pick in this draft now, so you're still in the mix a little bit. I think just given you just don't want this hanging over. Like if you win the lottery, awesome.
Yeah.
You missed the play-in and you won the lottery, cool. But like to try to bottom out to improve your chances at getting the number 6 pick, I think at that point I'd rather just convey the
I
pick.
think I should have sailed on that.
But are you not, on the flip side though, aren't you like, man, like if the Raptors can add a, say, 5th overall pick, even in a weak draft?
No, but you just can't guarantee because the lottery odds have changed.
Yeah, I get it.
like if you, even if you caught Memphis for 6th last, which I don't think, now that John and Marcus Smart are both out, I don't think you're catching Memphis for 6th last.
Bro, they're having the worst season
Worst
ever,
over-under pick ever.
So,
buddy.
let's say that was the goal. You were like, we want to finish 6th because that gives us the best chance. You only have like slightly less than a 2/3 chance of keeping your pick even then.
Right.
Because there's a chance you get bumped down the lottery and then you've tanked and don't keep your pick. So I just think they missed the boat on that.
I'm kind of okay either way. Like if they get the pick, if they keep the pick, then you look at it as like you hope they draft someone that like fits in with this young group.
And this is kind of the thing is like if
pick.
you're in the, like let's say you make the play in and you don't make it through, right? Like so you finish, I don't know, you're the number 12 pick or whatever. If you keep the pick, that means you won the lottery. You jumped up.
I get it.
Then it's kind of a best case. I think the idea of like the number 6 pick or a better chance at keeping the pick, period, is risky just because there is some value in conveying it now, even though you could, to your point, you could use another good young piece with this core.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is why you don't trade
Yeah.
the lightly protected firsts.
No, like I said, they traded 2 firsts for a starting center and an emergency center. Yeah.
As well said.
I think for me, it's just like once they resolve Pascal, either extend him or move him before the deadline. The rest of it, I just want to see how the team fits and how they play.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think there's a joy to like to the fact that we can talk about the basketball team in a new way. Because if they hadn't made the trade, we're still sitting here talking about OG and Pascal every day.
Every day,
you guys have gotten a reprieve. You guys have gotten a reprieve from this.
Should Dennis come off the bench?
Yeah. Should Dennis come on the show?
Yeah, people are even upset at like Dennis coming on the show. They're like, anyway, whatever. Shouts to Dennis, man.
Y'all know how contracts work? You sign up to do one a week.
Yeah.
It's not hey, if you come on if you average 12 points per game this week.
There were no conditions.
Yeah.
Anyways,
top 6 protected. Top 6 in the rotation protected.
Moving some things around, I believe we're gonna preview the Jazz Raptors game.
Yeah.
Or Between the Lines.
Yeah,
segment.
time now for Between the Lines, brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance. The news out of shoot-around in Utah today via Michael Grange is that Pascal Siakam, who missed last game with back spasms, went through shoot-around with no issues. So he is still technically questionable, but it sounds like that is moving in the right direction.
Right.
Otto's doubtful. Jakob is still out. Grady Dick is back up from the 905. So some emergency depth there as well. The Jazz have nothing on their injury report. Will, the key thing here, other than Pascal's status, Raptors are 3-point underdogs, by the way, over-under set at 241. The Jazz are not good overall. If you look at it, they're 19 and 20. They're in the mix for the West play-in.
Oh, they've been hot,
They're 25th in net rating once we adjust for strength of schedule. They don't profile like a 500 team, but they're 12 and 4 in their last 16. They've been slightly above average on both ends of the floor during that time. And at first, that streak was like, oh, you have a 3-game winning streak against Detroit, Toronto, and San Antonio. Cool. So did Charlotte almost. That's not that impressive. This week, they won in Philly, they won in Milwaukee, and then they went back home and beat Denver. How are you feeling about this Jazz team right now?
I mean, they're undeniably on a good run, but what's annoying me about the Raptors-Jazz matchups is that the Raptors typically lead for a lot of it, and then they just collapse against the Jazz. This has already happened like 3 times in the last 2 years, including earlier this season. We watched that game, and the Raptors were up the whole time, and then the fourth quarter, led by JC, they like doubled the Raptors like 39-20 in the fourth quarter, and the Raptors lost that game. It was one of the most miserable games. It was on my birthday too. The Jazz ruined my birthday.
I remember that one. This is the one where Scotty looked back on a breakaway dunk right before the end of the first half.
Because things were going that well.
Yes, they were up a lot.
I distinctly remember tweeting during that game in the first half when the Raptors were up like 17 or something like that, because the Pistons had just lost to that team without Markkanen and Clarkson. And I tweeted, like, how could the Pistons possibly lose to this team without their 2 best players? And then the Jazz came back, and I was like,
And then the
Raptors went to Detroit.
The Pistons beat the Raptors.
You know what? That game, that game reminded me of last year's play-in game a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. But anyway, look.
Except they got sunned by Jordan Clarkson instead of DeAndre DeRozan.
No.
I think for sure the Raptors have the talent on paper to compete and make it competitive against the Jazz, even on the road.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of can they actually just avoid not collapsing in the fourth quarter. And I do feel like the Jazz have been able to do things like shift to zones and really cut the Raptors' offense off. I think it's a little bit harder to do now the Raptors have better guard play. That's all. So I think I'm going to back the Raptors. That's all.
Shocker.
Matchup.
Surprise. if the Raptors just went by my picks on the Bet River segment, I legit the Raptors would be the 72-win Warriors. 73-win Warriors.
You're talking about Bill Simmons having a bias? Come on. Anyways.
Sub question here for you, Will. So that's the main thing. A big driver of the Jazz success has been that Lauri Markkanen, big shotgun, has become one of the most versatile scorers in the NBA. Among forwards, I took a look at, hey, what's your 2-point percentage, your 3-point percentage, your free throw percentage? He never turns the ball over. And there is like, not only is there no other forward hitting the marks that nobody is close. Like the next closest to hitting those thresholds is Sam Hauser of the Celtics, who has taken like 1 2-point attempt all year. So I don't think it really counts. Like nobody at the forward position, so your 3-4/4-5 guys, has been this efficient all around the floor as Lauri Markkanen. Within that, though, averaging fewer than 2 assists per game. He doesn't really create for others that much. And a lot of his baskets still, even though obviously he's an extremely talented scorer, he's getting set up for a lot of them. It's not a lot of self-creation.
These are Evan Mobley baskets. Just had to slide that in there for no reason.
Yeah, leave the geyser alone, man.
Geyser.
Go ahead.
Are you putting Scotty on him?
100% I'm putting Scotty on him. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's also what Darko's going to do because Darko's putting Scotty in the biggest score, regardless of position. Quick point guards, Scotty Barnes. Pull up 3-point shooting guards, it's Scotty Barnes.
Scotty
LeBron
Barnes?
James, Scotty Barnes. Kawhi Leonard, Scotty Barnes. Like, it's going to be him. So, yeah, look, it's going to be difficult just because it's the last game of the road trip. And, you do see teams kind of like let go of the rope on this one.
Yeah.
But
not this team.
Not this team. I like their new energy. I'm going to back the team. Surprise, surprise.
Something I'm also interested in tonight, and I'll talk about this on the pregame TV broadcast tonight, is so the Raptors played a ton of zone the last 2 games against the Lakers and Clippers because they don't have Jakob Poeltl, really. They had only played zone for any number of possessions earlier in the year. Atlanta, when obviously, those Trae Young, certainly when Trae Young's off the floor, but also as a way to handle those super high pick and rolls. Detroit, who just don't have any talent. And Milwaukee in segments where Dame was on the bench. And then against the Lakers and Clippers, they did it a ton. They did it a couple possessions against Utah last game, or the last time they played. It worked out okay, but this is a team that starts Chris Dunn, who's not small sample 3-point shooting progression.
No, but they ignored him the whole game last time they played until Chris Dunn made some threes in the fourth.
Simone Fontecchio, who I don't think they're all that worried about. And John Collins, who can knock down a three, but not in a way that you really care all that much about. You think we'll see some more of that zone tonight?
Probably, yeah. Especially to cope with the fact that they're undersized. So, no, man, I'm backing Darko and I'm backing the roster.
We've heard you 3 times.
All right, that was Between the Lines, brought to you by Bet Rivers. Take a chance.
Okay.
I guess break or do you? I guess the other note is I mentioned Grady's back up.
Yeah.
Do you care?
No.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry. Like if he's in the game, it's either gone really right or really wrong. But we're gonna take this break. Been your host Willow. You've been listening to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Welcome back to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. I'm your host Willow. Big shouts to producer Derek. I know people listening to the podcast can't hear this, so this is why you gotta listen live. Alex made the request.
The little Owl City Fireflies. Whew. All-time white joint.
Damn.
Anyways.
It's like the Larry Bird.
Derek said in my ear, I'm white and I don't listen to this song.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You should.
The assorted Raptors news and some around the NBA.
All right, let's go.
But first, it was reported yesterday that Toronto has been ranked the worst city in the world for traffic per a new index. Thoughts?
There's no way, man. Have people not been to other places around the world? No way. No. Like, no. I'm
what
not saying
comes
Toronto
to mind for
traffic's
you?
good. Anywhere in Asia?
You know what?
do you mean, man?
Yeah.
No,
I don't
this
know.
is not true, man. I'm sorry. It's
Blake,
just not.
thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent enough time in New York to gauge really. I guess LA doesn't count because if you're stuck in traffic in LA, you're going like small county to like you're going county to county. So maybe they have that counts as like freeway traffic.
I think New York gets a pass too because it's way easier in New York to just go anywhere by transit.
Yeah.
Whereas in Toronto, you can't. That's not. I'm not taking the Viva in Markham.
Yeah, and this is probably my biggest take is I think
Viva. Get out of here.
I think Toronto Star did I think it was the Toronto Star. So apologies if it was somewhere else. It did a piece recently where they had a bunch of their writers leave from the same spot downtown at the same time.
Yeah.
And they saw what would be quickest between walking, biking, taking the TTC or driving. And TTC and driving were by far last.
Yeah.
Like walking and biking were way more efficient downtown than even the streetcars.
That's why I scoot everywhere. That's why I'm Scoot Henderson.
You are Scoot Henderson, minus 57
Yeah,
in
minus
23
57
minutes.
weather. I'm still scooting.
You get the snow tires yet?
Unfortunately, there are none because I would totally put them on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, no, I...
No, but come on. It's not the worst city in the world for traffic, man.
Well, this has been researched. It's per a new index.
All right.
Take it up with City Hall, man.
right.
Anyways, Carmelo Anthony.
Dan Reynolds, you will pay for your crimes.
Carmelo Anthony and the Kid Miro
Yes.
on their pod was talking about the OG Anunoby trade. And Melo was asked about RJ Barrett, and he went into a bit of a not a rant. He had some things to say about RJ and then OG. So here's the clip. It starts with him talking about RJ.
He's just a bland player, bro.
Yeah.
He's just like it's
Regular.
no, it's not. That's not a shot. That's not no
Yeah,
disrespect.
nah.
He's just
Not a shot.
a lot of people. I ask a lot of people that who are Knicks fans and see what they say, and it's just like he's just not.
Bro.
He's good. He get it done sometimes, but it's not an
Even when you
exciting
talk.
player. Like you don't know if he
When he
got
talk.
4 or 26.
Exactly. He's just going to the rack crazy every time lefty, and then the personality too. It's just like,
Bland.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I
But he
remember,
home
bro.
now. He home, so he might be good.
He's good because he's in Canada. He's in the
I don't
crib.
think
He's eating Osmos.
RJ leaving has something to do with it, maybe, but I don't think it had
More
anything to
touches,
do with
though.
it because because OG can do the same thing RJ doing. He just don't demand it the way that RJ demanded to be a part of the offense. Like OG is cool sitting on the wing and moving around and cutting and waiting for somebody to swing into him and knock down a three. He's still gonna go play defense, no matter what.
Yeah.
Whereas RJ, if he gotta score 20. You know what I'm saying? So where that 20 is gonna come in at? Your 20, 23, 24 is the third option on that team.
Yeah.
So now you feel like I'm putting up 24. I'm the third option. I ain't really getting the, you know what I mean? Like, man, I gotta go.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like he probably was feeling that. Like, I'm ready to.
Ready to dip up out of
Yeah,
here.
what I'm sure he was questioning it.
Yeah. Thoughts on these comments on RJ and OG as well?
I mean, this is not a surprise to anybody who's talked to a Knicks fan. Like, I'm sure lots of people were either in or out on RJ. So this is probably more of like out on RJ kind of situation. But, I think the only thing I'd push back on is OG could have done that, but he just didn't want to. I'm like, OG's career high in 6 seasons with the Raptors was 36, and RJ had 37 in his 4th game.
Yeah. Also, I think OG had he hasn't had 3 straight. He didn't have 3 straight games of 20+ points with the Raptors the last like 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, you'd have to go back to the Philly series.
Okay.
In 2020,
because RJ just had 3 straight games of 20+, and we didn't even feel it. Like, it was just like, oh, that's not a surprise.
Yeah. And this is, again, like, I know we talk a lot about, like, pitting players and all that stuff. It's not that. It's just pointing out their
bland
positives, their positives and their flaws and stuff.
I want to talk bland.
And I've seen a very different RJ than what I thought was coming advertised, is the thing.
I mean, he is also on a heater, though.
Yes, he is on a heater.
59% from the field.
Yeah. He's hitting every flush right now. He's hitting every, like, draw.
Yeah, I guess my take on it is if Melo had said that at the day of the trade,
sure,
I would get it because that is the book on RJ, right? And bland is maybe not the right word, but he's a 20-point a game guy, but he's going to get his 20, and he hasn't been efficient. He straight up has not been efficient in his career. And so what we've talked about, the three of us, is like, okay, well, the challenge for RJ now is to be a more efficient version of yourself. Hit a couple extra threes, make 1 or 2 fewer force into traffics, and turn those into passes or something else. His assists are up a little bit. He's still turning the ball over, but in my estimation, he's forcing fewer shots. Like, I think what Melo's describing is you're right. Well, it's probably where Knicks fans were at with him, and it's exactly what the challenge is for RJ moving forward to be. Does that 20 feel like you have to get your 20 and you're going to get it no matter what? Or does that 20 feel like you've said the last couple games, you hardly even notice it's a 20 because everything's kind of coming in the flow and you're fitting in where you're getting in where you fit in?
The other thing, too, is just I actually do love this pod. I was listening to it on the way into from work, man. I love these two.
No, great pod. Because the other topic that came up and it's gone viral was like Melo being upset, accusing the Nuggets of forcing the number 15 onto Nikola Jokic.
Is Melo really upset, man? You hear his vibe on the pod. He's chill.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying he's upset, but like I think this is not the first time that he's brought up this like Nikola Jokic number 15 thing.
I mean, it is kind of funny that he wore 15 and then the next now no one will remember 15 in Denver other than for Jokic.
Was he mad when Anthony Randolph wore it too?
Oh God, man, I used to love Randolph.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
What did you like about him?
That was my geyser. I thought he was gonna be like the next. I thought he was gonna be like a top 5 player, man. He was a unicorn, bro.
Yeah, did you watch him at Real Madrid? How much you like him?
Oh God.
You want to play the game? Hey, there are 15 guys who have worn, or sorry, there are 12 guys who have worn 15 for the Nuggets. You want to name them all?
Oh my God.
You know your Pat McFarland history?
No,
did
man.
He write? Family Guy?
Is that my virus? Antivirus software? Oh.
Although small Raptors tie and Keon Clark wore it.
Oh yeah.
There.
Shouts to KC, man.
No, man. That pod's great. I disagree with the takes, but I just like them as two people.
No, it's a great pod.
Yeah.
Shouts to what platform are they on? Wave Entertainment.
They're on a Wave.
They're doing big things there, man.
Well, they do the Paul George pod too.
Yeah. Well, they don't have Club Shay Shay though.
They don't have Club Shay Shay, man. Let me look up the standings again, man. That's my personal standings.
Bro,
I don't care about the Raptors.
I'm not gonna lie,
standings.
I looked it up this morning. I'm going out as number 2, my brother.
No, you're going on as number 2. That's tough.
You just gotta say wild stuff in segment 4, and then you guys can get back to number 1.
What do you have to say about the industry, my friend?
Absolutely nothing, man.
Good. You did that way.
It's time for a break.
It is time for a break. Because,
actually, we have 30 seconds left.
Okay.
You gotta,
Let's.
What did you request? Sorry, I see WhatsApp going off. What you played Owl City Fireflies on the way into this one. What's in the
Well,
shoot?
I told Derek next song is the Death Cab Transatlantic
Nice.
System.
Oh, okay.
And then of course they're gonna end with Jay-Z Encore. So Derek, those are the requests. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna take another break. I've been your host, Willow. You've been listening to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Welcome back to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. I'm your host, William Liu. As you might know, this is Alex's last show.
Final hour.
We've entered the final hour, but this is actually not a tribute just yet.
Not yet.
We will get to those.
Hang
Don't worry.
tight. If
Hang
you just
tight.
subscribe to Sportsnet Plus, do not cancel the free trial.
George, don't change the channel. All
Hang
right?
tight, George. Your Uber Eats will be ready in 20 minutes.
What are we doing though, Alex?
Well,
You're still the producer, at least for today.
It's a one. He's sending you out with one last. I didn't read the doc.
exactly.
What do you want from me?
No, we do. one of the staples on the show is we do a lot of shout outs
Yes, we do.
on Fridays, and I wanted to spend a little time just giving a kind of final shout out
Okay.
to a
All
lot
right.
of the people here
All right.
who was
There we go.
responsible for the show.
Okay.
And one of the people that we've been handing out the Raptors chain as well.
Mhm.
We're unretiring it for one day only here
are?
today. And we have JR Manatad who helps us so much behind the scenes here with us. And I wanted JR to come on screen to hand me the chain. Here's JR. So JR, you were gonna put the chain on me, but the surprise is what we love to do here
Look, he's so
is
happy.
to, show love to our coworkers, and we've been kind of, slighting you all the time. So put this chain on yourself, man. So we're giving JR the chain. JR Manatad, I appreciate you. I hope this makes your titas and titos proud.
Yeah.
And I'll always be a fan of Riz Sports Inc. So
Is there a statement from Riz Sports Inc?
Riz
or-
Sports Inc., would
Grab
you
a
like
mic.
to step into the mic here and speak?
On behalf of Risk Sports, we accept this chain on our behalf, and we appreciate the Raptors Show and appreciate Alex Wong.
Wow, his voice is shaking, man.
All right, that's enough.
Is it for the chain or is it for Alex leaving? We'll never know.
That's enough about you. Go upstairs and do the clips.
Yeah.
When I
We,
do my farewell, I need the clips on the WeTransfer so I can post on IG. Okay.
We got to give a chain to whoever made that sweater that JR was wearing too.
Oh,
He's
man.
got a duck hunt, a customized duck hunt sweater. It looks like
This guy
he's trying to get
jump-
back on
he's
screen.
trying to jump back in the screen.
JR, man,
Know
just-
your role.
Yeah,
man.
maybe there'll be a space here for you next Monday. Okay, go. No, but honestly, I wanna shout out.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, the two of you, working with you guys, and I know you guys appreciate all these people behind the scenes. We talk about Derek all the time.
Yep.
Derek is our producer. Derek, I just discovered this week that you used to have a ponytail and you used to look like Kevin Nash, and I really wish I showed up to work more to just hang out with you in the producer room. But I'm gonna miss your drops. I'm gonna miss the Nest tea that you bring in with the 7 cups, and I'm gonna miss your warm personality in that order. So
Yes.
also want to thank Jennifer Rolnick and David Sis joining the show this year, helping us behind the scenes, steering us in the right direction, and for all of your hard work. Shout out to Ryan Fabro, and JR is part of the Afternoon Utes group chat. Guys like Kyle Crabe, Josiah, Devang.
Y'all got a group chat?
They have like 4 different group
Oh,
chats.
yeah, it was not.
Yeah.
Also, Devang gets lumped in with the Utes.
Oh, my bad. Devang, you just kind of sit in that area, But I love you, Devang.
Yeah.
By the way, if I miss anybody, I do apologize.
It's personal.
This is harder than doing like a wedding speech. But shouts to all the interns too. I only know 2 of you,
Hard.
Kyle
Mm.
and Jake.
Nice.
But to all, please send my love to the rest of the interns. I really don't know you guys.
Jesus, spread it amongst yourselves.
Yeah. No, but people who've helped on our show too. Mark Boffo this week.
Yeah, man.
Frank Baraska.
Of course.
Dylan Brown, my guy, who I went to a Death Cab concert with earlier this year. And honestly, like the wider kind of 590 family, JD Bunkis, Ben Ennis, Show Ali, Sam McKee, Justin Bourne.
Daniele got us Adam Silver.
Well, he's on there, man.
Oh, okay,
Matt
sorry. My bad,
Marchese.
I'm jumping the gun.
Even shout out to Kipper,
What do you mean even?
because he never gave me a game worn Nick Kiprios jersey.
All right.
So I hold that against him.
Well,
No, to my guy Daniele, like please go to one single music concert in your life.
He's never
But-
been to a concert.
Yeah, he
Never,
revealed
not
this
one,
yesterday.
not
Yeah,
one.
I've basically spent this week finally getting to know my coworkers,
yeah.
and then now I'm gone. But you've played such an integral part on the show this year, and booking all the bookings, all the hard work that you do. Obviously, I know it was very celebrated of getting Big Dog Adam Silver
Mhm.
on the show.
That was all him.
Yeah. No,
That was
shouts.
all him,
No,
man.
shouts to the Big Dog Daniele, Armin. What up, homie? You get a shout out too because I talked to you twice this week finally.
And I met you, so
Yeah, no, but thank you. Pat Flash sent me a really nice message to my iCloud and it didn't load today. But, you're always here taking care of me behind the scenes for everything that I needed. And, our afternoon hangout crew, Mike Gentili, Andrew Dutch Holland, Ailish, Justin Cuthbert.
yep.
I want to thank you to Raheem in HR for showing me how to find my accrued vacation days this week. Thank you. Faisal, my forever geyser. I'm always rooting for you, my brother.
Facts.
Yeah, Danielle, our one-time Raptor Show ambassador.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta get Danielle more on the show when I'm gone, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Grange, like I said earlier this week on air, I love you, my brother. I do.
That's the first time someone said that to Grange on air.
No, everybody like Matt Devlin,
Yep.
Savannah, Alvin, like everybody. And again, if I forgot anybody, I honestly, sincerely apologize. And just want a quick shout out to the losers and Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
Shouts to Hong Shing for hosting a farewell party tonight.
That's right. Pull up.
Shouts
there 5 to 9.
5 to 9 p.m. We're going to be there. Just pull up. It's casual. And honestly, like Raptors PR, I know you think I'm going to, say mean things about you. I'm not. I appreciate it.
Sweet.
Raptors PR, I really do appreciate you guys have helped a lot too in like shaping the show.
Of course.
And, offering us, Thad Young every week. Honestly, I appreciate.
I'll take that Young next week.
All joking aside, I really appreciate everybody there for helping us out. And honestly, everybody on the Raptors beat as well. I think a lot of people have shown, myself and the show a lot of love.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to include all these people.
No, man. Everybody's a part of this. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It took a lot of people to make the show. It takes a lot of people to make the show.
Yeah. Today's about me, definitely. But want to take
segment 4 is about you.
Want to take the opportunity.
I just jumped the gun.
Want to take the opportunity to make it about everyone else who made this possible as well, who made this such a wonderful experience for me. So, anyways, the Nets and Cavs are in Paris this week. And couple of
You want to just take the break now?
Couple of travel notes. Ben Simmons was asked about trying. He said he tried escargot snails in Paris, and he said
snails. It's like non-bread.
Yeah, it's like chai tea. TT.
Escargot just now. Okay.
Anyways, this is what he called it, and it said he said it actually tasted good until I processed it in my mind, and it wasn't my favorite. Dennis Smith Jr. did not know he was on the Nets. On his experience in Paris, said it's cool, man. I like it. I went to McDonald's yesterday. The McDonald's is good over there. So when you guys travel, are you guys more Ben Simmons or are you more Dennis Smith Jr.?
I'm 100% more Ben Simmons. But I'll have to say, when Dennis Smith Jr. said what he said about going to France and he said they got a good McDonald's over there, it reminded me so much of my grade 8 graduation trip.
I thought you were going to say Lee Ben Osmond, but go on.
We took a bus trip to Quebec City. And for the duration of the 2-day bus trip in Quebec City, all me and my friends did was spend our $200 cash from our parents to go to that McDonald's in the old town in Quebec City.
Oh God.
As 13-year-olds, and then the rest of it we just gambled on the cruise.
Nice.
So
were you unappreciative? Yeah.
No, actually, I was very appreciative. Thank you. I actually came back with a profit. My parents were proud.
Nice. What about you, Blake? How are you as a traveler? Are you more Ben Simmons or Dennis Smith?
I'm definitely more Ben Simmons.
Nice.
I mean, the Dennis Smith Jr. thing, like it's straight out of Pulp Fiction, right? The Royale with cheese. Like, it is. I mean, it's cool. And like, I have friends in the music industry who you tour that much. Like Steve from Pub has like an encyclopedic knowledge of which countries in Europe have good McDonald's and bad McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that. I'm going to try whatever. And this is true, like not even internationally, but like when I was on the beat and I would travel around, like I'm not trying to go to like a comfort spot when I'm in Memphis. I want to go to what the Memphis people say is the best spot in Memphis. And it's the same way internationally. Escargot, I don't know, but anything else?
I totally have it, man. I've never had it. But I have it. I totally have it. Yeah. By the way, Steve from Pup on his personal own Raptors Show pizza party. 3 straight shows are being mentioned.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Congrats, Steve.
Yeah.
All right. You owe me pizza, man.
Yeah.
Buy you pizza.
What else? So Netflix, it was announced this week that Netflix is creating a new NBA documentary series modeled after its NFL quarterback show, which they followed around like Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, trying to think. It was a really good show.
Okay.
Anyways.
So good you only remember 2 of the 5, but yeah, go ahead.
Marcus Mariota. So the 5 players that are chosen for the first season of this NBA documentary are LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, and DeMontis Sabonis. What do you guys think about these choices of like these 5 players here? So they're basically going to follow them behind the scenes. You're going to get a look at, day-to-day life as an NBA player, probably track them through a season. What do you think, Blake?
So I think it more naturally works for quarterbacks because that position is just so important and so interesting. Whereas I do wonder if, the NBA day to day is not as interesting. You're not, coming up with the game plans and with a playbook this big. But I think NBA players generally are really fascinating. And so I guess my one thought here would be maybe it's a little bit too many of the same kind of guy. Like Domantas Sabonis will be different. Anthony Edwards checks off the young guy box, but like
Why Sabonis different?
LeBron, Tatum, and Butler are probably going to be very similar.
Yeah,
right?
we haven't had a lot of media coverage on LeBron the last 2 decades, so it'd be fun to finally see him behind the scenes. Yeah.
Now, if they lean in a little bit more
on Tuesdays?
he's at Bronny's game?
Oh, he's partying with Draymond?
Again? I would actually love to see the full footage of that dance that him and Draymond were doing.
Yeah, I was thinking more like role players would be kind of fun. Yeah, like staggering like different levels of players, right?
Yeah, like what is I don't mean this ironically.
Yeah.
What is Garrett Temple's day like compared to
for
Jimmy Butler's or Anthony Edwards, where like your day-to-day life, your preparation for a game, what you're doing as a teammate and a leader is completely different. And we don't get a window into those guys, not because they're not accessible, but because like those stories don't get written and the money for those documentaries doesn't happen.
Yeah, no offense. I'd rather follow Furkan Korkmaz than Jason Tatum. Like I honestly think
Jason Tatum was the one on this list. I'm like, why?
No,
man?
I've
never been curious.
Yeah, like I honestly think it'd be more interesting spotlighting some of the fringe guys.
Inside the 76ers facility when Furkan Korkmaz requests his NBA record third trade demand.
I love how that trade demand is just still sitting on Daryl Morey's table.
It's sitting on the other 2 trade demands.
And he's like, let me deal with James Harden and China first.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Korkmaz just sitting there on trade deadline day, refreshing his phone for hours.
Oh,
to get
my
traded.
God.
Just begging, man.
First guy to ever put himself in the trade machine.
This guy's like leaking into Woj. They're like, God damn it, just give it to someone else. Warriors got blown out at home again this week by the Pelicans and were booed by the home crowd. Afterwards, Sleepy Steve Kerr said, quote, "We're lacking confidence. You get to a stage where you lose your belief. That happens, and that's what's happening with our team." Steph Curry, on whether he feels like the front office needs to do something at the trade deadline, says it's pretty evident if things stay the same. That's the definition of insanity, right? Do the same thing, expect the same result. Shams Charania, friend of the program, reported that the mindset in Golden State right now is everybody except Steph is on the table. So, yeah, this is the latest update from the Bay Area, guys. You want to call Jim Park?
I don't think we need to, man. I think this said it all, really. Like, yeah, I mean, I look, they need to salvage whatever they can around Steph. That it just is, and if
can it be salvaged this season?
Like, it can't be like, okay, Steph's having a great year still, but if he's not enough to carry the group. But we also can't give up Kuminga because he's part of the future. Like, no, you have to be all in when you have these type of players. Like, it's like the Lakers have to be all in with LeBron on the team, and the Suns have to be all in with Kevin Durant on the team. You have to be all in when you have Steph.
You're saving for a tomorrow that won't be worth saving for.
Yeah,
right. Like it's.
Like, I know Raptor fans, like, on this show, for example, we talk so much about, like, does Pascal fit Scotty's timeline and, their age difference. Like, man, Steph is like 35 and Kuminga's like 21. Like, that's an age timeline difference. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, I mean, whatever it takes, Masai, go fleece these things.
Yeah, so
go fleece them.
Semi-related to this isn't in the rundown, so I apologize, but it happened while we were on air. Chris Haynes was on the Bleacher Report app today and said that he has heard that Pascal Siakam and the Toronto Raptors are, quote, on the verge of parting ways. Says there's a high likelihood he's moved by February 8th trade deadline. This is, of course, just the latest in a up and down
we
carousel.
Get one Pascal update a day.
Yeah, and they're all in conflict with each other. And the conclusion to take from all of them is that nothing is decided because the trade deadline is still 4 weeks away. But I thought I should mention, coming off of this, that Chris Haynes did say that about half an hour ago.
Yeah, I mean, I personally expect them to part ways, but I guess we shall see. Yeah. The Detroit Pistons.
No more Pascal, no more Alex.
Are we on Pistons losing streak watch again,
we
guys?
Might be, actually.
Because the Spurs blew them out by 22 earlier this week, and now the Pistons, since beating the Raptors, are on a 6-game losing streak.
And Cade's hurt.
Yep. So the Raptors, they are one Raptors choke away from being on a 35-game losing streak.
Yeah, it'd be like the biggest story. Well, I don't think it would be the biggest story in sports. That's maybe
It
overstating.
would be pretty big next to
Maybe the biggest
Darko
story in basketball.
flipping out this week.
I feel like Wingstop got a lot fewer advertisements after that one.
Yeah, I stopped thinking about Wingstop. So that is
Yeah.
But those wings last night at Simple Things.
Oh, that was different.
Anyways,
was different.
next 10 games here, guys. At home against Houston, at Washington, and then a huge homestand. Minnesota, Milwaukee twice, Charlotte, Washington, OKC, then at Cleveland, home against the LA Clippers. Is it possible they could lose all 10 of these?
You got to
It's
have
always
one
possible.
of two against the Wizards.
Sorry, man, it is.
Two against the Wizards and one against the Hornets, with two of those coming at home.
Yeah.
That second Wizards game too is like they're at home and have 3 days off between games, and that's the Wizards, man. You got to have
Man, but the
one
Wizards,
of these.
honestly, like the Wizards have a much better roster than the
Yeah.
Pistons.
They do.
They have a lot more shooting. They've
also won 6 games this year.
playmakers
They
like
have
Jordan Poole.
Danny Afdia.
Yeah,
They've won 6 games.
Yeah.
You get 2 cracks
Well, how
at
many
a
times
team
have
That's
they
that's
played the
double.
won
That's
6.
double the Pistons win
Yeah.
total.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
They're beating the Pistons twice in this
But
trip.
if you're
Anyways.
looking ahead to the next Raptors meeting, they play the Hornets again before that. So they have 2 cracks at the Hornets and 2 cracks at the Wizards before they play the Raptors again. But you put in, what is it, 32, 33 games it would be?
Yeah. So the record, if they lose 28 again, the record game this time will be against Miami on March 5th.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was going to be the Raptors again.
And if they somehow don't win another game until their next meeting against the Raptors, that is on March 13th. And the Pistons would be on a 32-game losing streak.
I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying.
It could hit 15 again or something. I feel like it could. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pistons should be relegated.
But do we care a
Actually,
second?
multiple teams in this league should be relegated.
Do we
I
care
start
a second
conversation
time
earlier this
if the Pistons are going for another record losing streak?
week. No, I totally care, man.
You care
Yeah.
again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially
Yeah.
because like it would span the trade deadline. So it'll
Yeah.
get like extra interesting of like there are rumblings out there that the Pistons aren't going to do what you'd think a 3-win team is going to do and sell.
Well, they want Pascal.
They actually want to buy because they want to get out of this.
Sounds like a threat, man.
The idea of like
Sounds like a threat.
them
And
being
also,
on
Raptors
another
do not do that to Pascal. My goodness.
yeah, you can't.
That's not wrong. That's wrong. That's even worse than what they did to DeMar if they moved to Detroit right now.
So they would be, if they lose out until the trade deadline, they would be on an 18-game losing streak. The reaction and first interviews and first game for guys who got traded to a team that had won one of their last 47 games at that point, like that to me is could be the most fascinating trade deadline subline. Forget which contender got better.
Yeah.
Which player is getting dumped into Detroit in the middle of a 1-45 stretch?
Yeah,
Man.
Damn. Jinx.
Do
Eric,
the show for 3 years. That's what happens.
Eric Spoelstra
Yeah.
got an 8-year, $120 million
Yes. I'm so
contract
happy about this.
extension this week. Do you think he'll fall under the Monty Williams curse?
Here's the thing. You remember in the offseason when the Raptors had their 1 month long like coaching search?
Yeah.
We were doing some shows in just podcasts only at that
Sure.
time. And we kept talking about the coaching search. And there was some discussion then, like, should the Raptors like try to get a piece of Heat culture?
Chris Quinn.
And
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
right. Quinny.
Why are we trying to get Chris Quinn? Why doesn't someone throw the max?
Get the big
at
dog.
Eric Spoelstra?
Yeah, get the big dog.
Like throw the max at him because there's no actual limit to how much you need to pay a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. I didn't actually think that the Raptors would spend that kind of money to get Eric Spoelstra. And I didn't think Eric Spoelstra would ever leave.
Mhm.
But I think this kind of just backs up the idea that like, this is really valuable. And I'm sure all the coaches league wide are celebrating. Like the bar just keeps getting pushed higher and higher.
Price of the brick is going up.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's coaches in the league making like less than 5.
Will Mark
Per year.
Dagnall make $200 million next year?
Okay. All right. Next up on first.
Not
Take.
an OKC, but yeah. That's $15 million a year for
No,
Spoelstra.
but let me pull up the
yeah.
standings. Who do you think is the next coach that might be in line for a $100 million contract?
It's gonna take a while, man. I think.
You think so?
Especially with Pop like nearing the end like this, and they took care of Pop as well.
Sure.
So he's already pretty much locked up until he wants to retire.
Man, how much is Nick Nurse making this year? Do we know?
I don't think we know, but I think a safe guess would be like north of 10.
Yeah, but Nick must be like, man,
Here's
a lot of money out here.
Here's my guess for next 100 million. I think it takes a while, so I don't
Sure.
think this is actually going to happen.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess right now, Clippers have playoff success and
I was
Ty
gonna say
Lue
Ty Lue.
gets
Yeah,
it.
my favorite
I think
coach
he's
of all
in year
time.
4 of a 5-year contract.
Yeah, and there's
So
already
he-
rumblings.
Yeah.
Mike Malone,
He just got one.
he just got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the numbers on it were, but it wasn't. I don't think it was 100 million
Okay.
because we didn't get those Monty headlines.
It's pretty
And the
much like
Nuggets are
industry
cheap.
practice that like if you
Yeah.
win a ring, you like give them a pay bump.
Yeah. Darvin Ham.
I don't know about that. Maybe. It does seem like every report coming out is like actually Darvin Ham has the full backing of ownership.
Yeah.
There's like 25 reports about that after the unnamed six sources. The Fellowship of the Ring.
55 burgers, 55 sources.
The Fellowship of the Ring was like, yeah, we don't believe in Darvin Ham.
Guys, the NBA draft is becoming a 2-night event. Per ESPN sources this week, NBA is working on a final sign-off from Garrett Temple and the Players Association. And they're going to move it to 2 days in Brooklyn this week, June 26th and June 27th. So Wednesday will be the first round. Thursday will be for the second round. Are people going to tune in for the second round on Thursday?
So in asking around a little bit, because obviously this is something targeted towards someone like me, right, who cares about the G League and the second round guys. It's like it's sickos only.
Yeah.
I believe the league's hope is, first of all, your time crunch for the first round broadcast is a little less, and maybe it can polish up and make the first round broadcast even better because you're not worried about getting the 2 hours of second round in at the end. But I don't think they think people will care that much about the second day. What they do think could happen is it could really open up the possibilities for trades between rounds. So you come out of the first round of the draft, and then that second round is more about resetting the table of what teams look like and who drafted who and what the free agent landscape is. And there's then, hey, people know what happened in the first round. It's hard to make a trade live during the draft. Maybe this juices some of the trade action on draft night, where the last couple years we really haven't seen a lot of draft night trades.
So are they going to slow down the first round too then to create more space for
I don't
trades?
think you can
Jackie
slow
Chan,
it down
slow down,
more,
baby.
man. You don't want an NFL thing where like the draft is 4 days long because it has to be because you get 15 minutes between picks.
I think, speaking to the sicko nature of this, I like the fact that the draft is a marathon. I like the fact that like
you got to grind.
you got to go to the Raptors PR room, and then
you
want to
be
for
in the
like
score
5 hours.
war room.
Now you can do a
aggregating.
sleepover at the Raptors
Yeah.
PR room.
Oh,
Eric
God.
Green's just throwing out random topics, and we're just burning time until the next pick. And then like Aaron Rose says, "Who wants a coffee?" Like like just.
I thought you were gonna make a pizza joke. Oh,
Well, we already did that, unfortunately.
shouts to Aaron, man.
Just Aaron and your cousin Spencer.
We're just doxing everybody.
But yeah, seriously, I actually kind of enjoyed the 1 day kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. Like you're a real sicko if you want to stay up overnight to like see who the Raptors took with the undrafted picks. That
I usually can't make it past the 7th pick. But like,
also the broadcast quality is bad because it gets leaked every year.
right.
no suspense.
But
There's no
Woj
reason
is
to
not
watch.
allowed anymore,
Woj
right?
with the thesaurus game every
yeah,
year.
yeah. Woj is not allowed.
I mean, he still does it though.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do it, then Shams and Haynes will do it.
Yeah,
That's one, like, I understand the game. I understand the grind when it comes to the news breaking and stuff like that. Like, it's not for everyone, but like draft night is the one night where I'm like, is this necessary? The number one pick? Sure.
Yeah.
Get it out there, whatever.
What do you
but
mean, like the pageantry of it all?
well, just no, the reporting side of it all, where it's like, dude, did I need to know who the number 17 pick is 45 seconds before it airs on TV?
Yeah.
Like I did because I did, but like, does everyone need to know? I
think
don't know.
the only fun part is just how like they never get the Raptors pick, right? That's
I
how.
was-
Yeah, that's
I
how
was
we know
so
Noah
close
Lewis
to
keeps
beating
it tight.
Shams on Malachi Flynn that one year, and it was like,
word?
and I wonder if I didn't beat him because I was mad because Desmond Bain was on the board.
Guys, this will be exciting though, because day 2 will kick off with the Raptors probably getting the first overall pick in the
The
second round.
Raptors will be on the clock. The
Mark
Raptors will be on the
Tatum.
clock overnight.
Second round.
Zach Edey. Yeah. Anyways,
Want to take a
So-
break?
Are we gonna take a break, or do you have any more topics?
No, we're
kinda
good.
Done. We're done.
yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
All right.
we need to leave some space for
Actually, one
for
more
the guys
thing.
are over here for
One more thing, just some unfinished business here. James Harden officially Thursday, January 25th, front and Spadina, LCBO.
Okay.
Yes.
LCBO.
Yes.
And he's signing, right? It's not just an
He's
appearance.
only signing his own wine, so
Okay.
you can't like.
How much is this wine? Someone needs to look that
Yeah,
up.
it's a James Harden Prosecco.
Jay Harden Cab Sav as well is available. That's
okay.
1995.
Oh, it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
For $20, you can line up to see James Harden. For
See
10
my
seconds?
favorite player on my favorite team.
Wow.
Yeah, so
It has a score of 90 from the LCBO.
nice.
Wait, they have grades?
I guess. I don't
It's like draft grades.
What? Kevin Pelton's like, this wine is quite dry. 90.
Anyway,
Low upside. Okay, we're gonna take our last break, and we're gonna call this ISO for Alex as he enters the last segment of the Raptors Show. But I've been your host, Willow. You've been listening to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Welcome back to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. I'm your host, William Lou. For the last time, I get to say this, joined by my co-hosts, Blake Murphy, Alex Wong. Is it hitting yet? Is it hitting yet for people? So we are going to call this ISO for Alex. No basketball content. People already know this. It's explained by now. So obviously we had to find a way to send Alex, off on his way, and he already graciously gave a lot of credit to a lot of people who make the show possible in segment 3. Thing is with Alex, he makes everyone feel incredibly important. That's why he's got a lot of friends in this industry. Some people like to say the game is about a bucket. The actual game is about making a connection.
You came up with that an hour ago.
It doesn't matter.
That's crazy.
The game is about making a connection. Yeah. And so we actually had so many tribute videos being sent in that we had to split into 2 parts.
Yeah.
So this is part 1 of tribute videos from friends of the program to our departing Alex Wong.
Out here getting set for the Raptors and the Clippers, and just want to take a moment to thank you for always including me in the Raptors Show. Want to wish you all the success in the future, and I know it'll be there for you because up to this point you have been absolutely a superstar. So all the best, continued success. Look forward to reading all your stuff and hearing you again sometime soon. All the best.
What's going on, Alex? It's JR, aka Riz. I appreciate you mentoring me, grooming me after all these years working together on the Raptors Show. You helped me show a new perspective on producing and the sports media landscape as a whole. I miss having our fit picks and having another Asian around the office, man. You had like another 20-year-old mind around, but although you're like 40 or 50, I don't know. But I appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing what's next out of you, and hopefully we'll chat soon, man.
You turn on the ring light for
hey,
that.
Alex. We're really going to miss you on the show, but we're super excited for your next chapter.
And speaking of that next chapter, I expect that announcement to come via the Players Tribune, a la Kevin Durant. # my next chapter.
Yo, Alex, word on the street is you're getting married. No, wait. Oh, happy birth. No, I can't. Is that it? What is it? What are we doing this for? Whatever it is, congratulations or my condolences. I'm not reading all that. Also, text me back, man.
Hey, Alex. Recording this in front of Monkey Sushi because last time I forgot to send you a picture. Anyway, sad to hear that you're leaving the show. You've been such a funny and amazing producer. It's going to be weird listening to the show without you. Funny memory I have of us is just running into you at the Black Barbie screening at Hot Docs, and then later just finding out that Will was at the same screening. Crazy. Anyway, best of luck with your future endeavors, and I look forward to hearing more about it. Bye.
The Joe Torre to my Derek Jeter, the realest one in the game. Good luck with whatever's next. Don't really know why I'm sending you this message. I mean, this doesn't change anything between us. If anything, you're probably just going to WhatsApp me even more now. And like Will said, in soliciting these messages, it's not like you're dying. But hey,
that was my instruction, actually.
Any opportunity to celebrate Alex Wong.
I started off being a fan of the Raptors Show, and I ended up gaining a friend. Alex, thank you for everything you've given basketball fans over the years and the lasting community you've created. I've been able to meet some amazing people because of that community from the show, and I'm really grateful for it. Wishing you all the best with whatever the future has in store for you, and just know that you'll always have my support.
Alex, I can't believe you're leaving. I'm going to miss you. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself without getting those texts about what my plans are Tuesday at 2:30, 3 weeks from now, and could I come on the Raptors Show? But anyway, I appreciate it, and good luck with whatever comes next.
Hey, Alex, want to congratulate you for success run over at Sportsnet. I know you're going to be up to big things going forward. Hopefully you have more time for impromptu karaoke or just, catching up over a round of golf. And I promise that I've graduated from terrible to mediocre now, so we could actually have fun playing golf this time around.
Alex, I cannot believe you're leaving us hanging. But thank you for all the time, effort, energy, consistency, just absolute talent that you have poured into the Raptors Show. It's more than a podcast. You've built a community of people who feel represented. I know that I have. Thank you so much for having me on so oftentimes as a guest. And any single time that you want to go to Rasta Pasta or Queen Mother Cafe, hit me up. Let's go.
Hey, Alex, it's Joe. I'm at the airport now, so I got to be quick. Congratulations on the next chapter of your life. You're an amazing storyteller, giving voice to so many of us in the community. And as your second dad, and as an Asian dad at that, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you what you were going to do now that you're unemployed. And I would be furthermore remiss if I didn't encourage you to consider pursuing a graduate degree in something safe, like pharmacy, medicine, or accounting.
Just wanted to say it's been a real pleasure working with you, man. You are definitely the lethal weapon, and
He's devastated.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be hard not, having you around next week, man. But I know we'll still talk and keep in touch. So all the best, man, and can't wait to see what the future holds, bro.
I know you hate compliments, so I thought I'd distract you with my dog. You're one of the kindest, most generous people that I've ever met. For those that don't know, this industry, it's full of snakes and people that backstab each other.
Facts.
You are not like that, and you're hilarious. The only thing questionable about you is your suspect taste in music. I can't wait for your next chapter. I made us these beautiful friendship necklaces, which are not lanyards I got for free, but until I see you, I'll have to give one to my dog. Close enough. See you soon, buddy.
Hey, Mr. Steven LeBron. It's Trevor here from sunny San Diego. I just want to wish you all the best with your new adventures. We're going to miss hearing your voice on a daily basis, but I'm sure it'll pop up real soon. Thanks for everything you do for the basketball community, also the Asian community, and the greater community at large. Your voice has been very influential and very inspirational. We'll see you soon, bud.
Hey, Alex, buddy. Congratulations on your retirement. Wishing you all the best in your venture.
Alex, thank you for always mentioning Zitos. You got free espressos for life.
Alex, thanks for putting Marley on the map. You've always embraced our culture, so we want to embrace yours a little. Wishing you all the best and a happy retirement.
All right. Alex, how you feeling, man? By the way, for people watching or listening at the end there was a picture of the Zito's crew and Mark Savell holding up Chinese signs.
Which he did because Savell famously picked up my dad to drive him to my book event at U of T.
Yeah.
And he sent me a photo of himself dressed up as a driver with the Chinese sign.
But the sign says happy retirement, Alex. And to be clear, you are not retiring, but How are you feeling?
First of all, the Michael Grange saying, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself should be a drop moving forward on this show. And I do love Grange wearing the same outfit. It was the same day as when he came on the show earlier this week. I could time his whole day in LA on Tuesday. But no, it was wonderful. You know, I think the thing for me is like seeing people like Josie and Colin, you know, Erica and Maddie, like a lot of these people, and even Trevor, a lot of these people are not, and Joseph Wong, like these people aren't in sports media, you know? I think people know a lot of these media friends that we have, and it's like, that's, you know, that's powerful to me to be able to build these like genuine friendships and, you know, with these people. And I think that was always the most important part about the show. So, and Derek, man, kids are so loud in the background.
he's got like 20 of them. So
couldn't do it in the producer room or something. No, Derek, I appreciate you, man. But those were my notes. Yeah.
Well, Blake, I wanted to give you this space too to offer your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly want to echo what everyone has said in there. And Will, you kind of said it off the top that there is something about Alex that, look, from a journalist perspective, the ability to make people comfortable and get people to open up with you and just like feel like you're genuine, that is a really, really important skill as a journalist, but it's also like an incredible skill as a human being. And I think what you see from these tributes, the tributes we're going to see from the way everyone gravitates toward Alex down at the arena, how much fun I've had doing this show with you guys for a couple months. And like we all go back, but we hadn't like worked together like this before. So aside from that, thank you for helping create some space for me on this. You know, there's other stuff to that as well. But from you know, what these people are saying and like the respect I have for you as a journalist, but also everything that comes with that and what it says about you as a person, as a colleague, as a friend, as someone who's helped build something really special between the two of you, not just for basketball content, but for sports culture in the city entirely. I could not possibly have more respect for you, man.
Yeah.
I got you some gifts, but we'll give you those after.
Yeah, people get me gifts today. No, but I appreciate I appreciate all of that, Blake. Yeah.
Well,
these are intangible gifts. I want tangible gifts.
I have those too. Yeah, there are tangible gifts as well.
As I advise somebody who is coming to Hongqing later today, Alex likes gift cards. So at least one gift card is coming your way.
I like that.
In an hour or so. But yeah, I mean, look, you know, this is obviously like a sad moment for the show. For me, when I announced it on Sunday, I think some people picked it up on in my dictation that my voice was breaking.
No,
I was like, man, great win against the Warriors. They led from start to finish. You know, the Warriors are done. And also, by the way, Alex is leaving.
Yeah, you were down bad.
No, I was down bad. And honestly, like, to be transparent about it, like, it was like a 2-3 day period where I was like, man, like, why can't I get through this, like, kind of fog of just this moment being sad and just, like, getting to this point? And, I mean, big shouts to our therapist. but seriously, it was a great session, and it kind of really helped me reframe the whole thing. I mean, for me personally, I'm so proud of the show. It's something that the three of us all put like our absolute everything into. Arguably, there's not enough work-life balance for me, and I don't think there's an argument for that. But for me, it doesn't feel like that because it's an extension of my love for basketball, and trying to bring that as much as possible to here. But that's always been my approach. But I think honestly, just thinking to this specific moment. When I got here to the office, I was like, I should actually probably write something down because there's too many things and I want to clarify just a little bit. So where I got to was, you know, just the story of how this show began. Like what we did at Yahoo Sports Canada, a lot of people come up to us and say, been following you since Yahoo, been following you guys since Raptors Republic. Like we were already the #1 program when we were there. And that's why we were approached to come here.
Cat Williams didn't say anything in 2019?
He actually didn't. So thank you for that. Club Shay Shay was not a thing. But that's why we were brought here, the Sportsnet 590 The Fan. And the vision was going to be building around that. And, you know, I think I had some trepidations because, you know, were we going to be able to do this? Are we going to be able to stay authentic in some way? Clearly, some things will change, but can you keep it authentic? And one thing that made me feel really good about it was the program director came up to me and asked me, who do you want as your co-host? And I'm not a word of a lie. I said Alex and I said Blake. And, you know, I think for the basketball reasons, it's very, very easy to make that case because, Blake, you've been the best Raptors journalist like pretty much since you started doing this thing 10 years ago. And I'll debate anybody on that. So your resume speaks for itself. And then Alex's resume speaks for itself as well because, you know, he's shown that he can be multi-platform, approach sports from a different angle, be creative. So there was that aspect. I thought it was just me good for the program, good for the show in general. The other side of why I wanted to choose you guys was it's a big confidence thing to come on air every single day and like be yourself, man. And like I think you could take some validation in a podcast chart, but to have people who actually have done it, like you two, every single day, being able to give me that confidence to be myself, to share our experiences, to have fun with the show when we need to have fun with it. Like, I think that's the part that I needed more than anything else, that validation to be able to do that. So you guys made that space, and we're going to keep that space. That's the thing.
No, for sure,
that's the thing. Like, the show is not ending, but I think it's just a recognition of how much it grew. So I want to appreciate you guys both for that, but especially you, Alex, man.
No, I appreciate it. We'll save 6 minutes because I know you got some tribute videos at the end. And, you know, I just want to quickly say to you, Will, too, like, you know, I think we came here a few years ago with our own ideas of how we wanted to do this show. And I think we've really let our creativity and curiosity evolve, you know, this show into a one-of-a-kind sports program. And often I look around, like, there's a lot of media accounts and things I like to talk about, like the sports media landscape here in Toronto. And I'm still, you know, the only thing I'm upset at leaving today is that, like, I don't feel like this program still gets talked about enough. You know, I feel like what we do, what we all do, should get more credit. You know, people always look around for more diversity, for more different programming, for something that's not traditional. You know, you don't have to look that hard. Like, it's right here. Like, why do we always have to talk about these things when there's already people like ourselves that are doing it? And I just want to tell you too, Will, you know, I appreciate you for, you know, obviously believing in my ideas, my vision, and always keeping me on my toes by never reading your texts, emails, or group chats. Like,
rundown.
Yeah, but I couldn't have asked for a better person to build this community with. And I do appreciate that. And, you know, I know people have wanted to speculate and talk about, like, my decision to leave. And I just want to say, like, I made this decision myself. And I do want to thank Sportsnet, and a shout out to people like Dan Toman and Greg Sansoni, who I had wonderful conversations with this week. You know, the decision to move on from a job is never easy. And I'm glad I'm leaving here on great terms, because I've left jobs on.
I was going to say that's a
great terms.
first.
I've left jobs,
Trust me, I was there for all of
angry,
those.
disappointed, bitter, feeling unappreciated. And I know there's a lot of people that are like disappointed, angry, upset that I'm leaving the show. I just want you to know, if it helps, that I sit here today, I feel none of those things. Yeah. And I'm really happy, about the decision. I'm ready to move on. But at the same time, I cherish these 2.5 years that I've been able to do this show here. And it's such a wonderful chapter in my career. So thank you to everybody.
That's dope, man. I appreciate you. And we're going to play the second half of that tribute video now because we are running out of time.
Yeah.
So let's go. The other tribute video.
Kipper's waiting outside.
He's banging on the penalty box.
Okay, some nice words about Alex. Let's see. Oh, he was integral in getting the nickname Spice and Dice for Fred and Pascal that I invented. Actually, on the air, he was like actively campaigning to get them to mention it on air. He got Matt Devlin to say it on the air. And he also got Matt Devlin to come on the show when I was on the show to tear apart all the terrible nickname ideas I had for the other Raptors. #SmacksMilk. Look it up. Alex, you are supportive of your friends, but you're not afraid to keep it 100. And you built the community, and you're going to be missed, my friend. And I can't wait for the next thing. All right?
Hey, Alex, it's Elaine. Thank you for being a part of one of my favorite podcasts. I'm sad to hear that you're leaving, but excited to see what's next for you. I also want to say a special thank you for including me in Prehistoric and for telling the story of the people who helped bring the franchise to Toronto. I'm forever grateful. Best of luck on your next chapter. Excited to see what's next. Much love to you now and always. Thanks.
Hey, Alex. Congratulations, brother. Looking forward to see what you're going to do moving forward. Been following you since the Stephen LeBron book writing days. Next time we're in Toronto, we'll catch the Face of the League Scotty Barnes play game and
I know that's right.
And get some good karaoke going. So Congrats. Peace.
Hey Alex, I just wanted to say thank you for the entertainment while I work from home. I actually found the Raptors Show because of a cover story ad on Twitter, so good job there. So happy to be here, and thank you for always wanting to talk ball, but more importantly, thank you for all the banter. We'll miss you, but we're so excited for your next step, and we're so happy for you, but we're sad for us, but we're happy for you.
Alex, congratulations on your retirement. What kind of tribute would this be if we weren't always selling, always hustling the way you do? Everybody, Alex is Prehistoric. If you really want a good history of the Raptors, here you go. And what's that behind me?
Oh, she got one more.
Also by Alex Wong. I got you.
Where's We the Champ?
Anyways, congratulations. Hope you have more time in your retirement to do stuff like this. Peace.
Hey, what's up, Alex? It's Clement from the CCYA. Just wanted to congratulate you on all your success with the Raptors Show and looking forward to seeing where you're headed next. You've always been a pioneer, whether it be, writing for GQ or Slam Magazine or all your work with the Raptors Show or publishing your own book. It's been truly amazing to see where you've taken this, and we're excited to see where you head next.
There's a good chance you know about this shop and who I am because Alex has shouted us out on the show no less than 250 times. Salutes to the shop's #1 fan and our very good friend Alex Stephen LeBron Wong's last day at Sportsnet. Can't wait to see what's next.
Hey, it's Kai. This message goes out to Alex Wong, the GOAT producer, OG co-host of the Raptors Show. I'm wearing this bit in honor of your last day, your favorite toque, hockey jersey. If you know, you know. Man, Alex, thank you for a great run. Thank you for the authenticity that you always bring to the show, leaving it always everything on the floor. Thanks for trying to put me and others on the map, building communities, always repping us. We're going to miss you, man. But you know what? We're ready for Lethal Weapon 2. The streets are waiting, bro.
His voice is crazy.
Thank you.
Hey Alex, congratulations on an amazing run with the Raptors Show. You have brought so much vision, relevance, focus, creativity into this industry. And I'm so, so, so grateful and honored to be your colleague, but more importantly, proud to be your friend. Whatever's next will be amazing and you will slay, and you are always, always, always welcome over for dinner. Love you, guy.
What up, Alex? First off, congrats on an incredible run.
on the Raptors show with Will. Gonna miss you too, guys, going back and forth. I am looking forward to you hopefully doing more influencer stuff because I always get hyped when you message me about some clout thing or brand reaching out to you and how you should price yourself. But looking forward to getting bubble teeth with you. Boba Boys for life. The vet to my rookie. The Vince Carter to my Trae Young. Congrats, Alex. We'll see you soon.
Hey, Alex, it's your boy Lee Ben Osmond from the Toronto Star. I want to shout you out for an amazing 2+ years with the Raptors show. I don't think you get enough credit for what you do helping the next generation coming up in the sports media industry. So I wanted to make sure you got your flowers for that, brother. I got 2 promises for you, though. We'll make sure to hold a moment of silence for you in the booth at the next Raptors game. Yeah. And my last promise, hand to my heart, I will only eat poutine at Scotiabank Arena for the rest of the season in your honor, my brother. Excited for what's to come next for you.
Alex, congratulations on a great run with the Raptors show. I remember watching you and Will doing Run It Back on YouTube just a couple years back, and to see how far you guys have come is so inspirational for the rest of us. So thank you for all the passion you put into covering the Raptors, for all the new and creative ways that you found to cover basketball, and last but not least, for lifting up so many young and up-and-coming journalists like myself along the way, giving them a platform. Thanks, buddy.
新年快乐. Ni hao. I've enjoyed all of the banter. Congrats on a great run with the Raptors show, Alex. I can't wait to see what's next.
What's up, Alex? This is Jeremy, your brother. I'm in Vegas right now. So the moment I want to share with you today is, a week ago, I asked you to sign for my book in the Raptors game. You said at least it would take you the whole second half to finish it because you're going to send it in Chinese. Actually, it only took you a quarter, which is really impressive. You're ready to make a big move of your career. I'm so happy for you, bro. Wherever you go, I'm always here to support you, bro. See you soon.
Yeah.
我靠，终于完了！你都不知道我在这儿待了多长时间。
What's going on?
我已经拍了30遍了。Oh my god！ 我在外边站了1个小时。
What's going on? Turn him off.
Alex, man.
What kind of messages?
You got something really quick to say? Because we got a break now.
No, we're
got to wrap now.
But like, yeah, I just thought did V do that after a Chris Tucker show? V's a comedian now.
It's before, don't worry.
No, but listen, last thing I want to say is
real quick. You got like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I got you, man. The love this week. I think people always want to ask for career advice, how you want to be in this industry. You know, if you're genuine and you really care about people, this is the love that you're gonna get, and that's not gonna change when I'm on the show, off the show. Tomorrow will be just the same. Monday will be just the same, except I won't have a job. So
all right.
Appreciate everybody. Thank you.
You won't have a job, but you will still have one last surprise. Producer.
Ni hao, Uncle Alex. We just want to say a big thank you. Yeah, you're the most goated uncle ever. You're so funny, and we love how you always play with us. I love that I can always talk to you. And when you took me to your house to go have a sleepover, and you took me to the Blue Jays game, that was awesome. Yeah, and coming to all my games, my basketball games, that's amazing. And when you took us courtside, that was the best thing ever. Thank you for being our best friend, Uncle Alex. We love you and we'll miss you on the Raptors show.
Damn, good coordination by them, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, probably, honestly. You'll be in our lives. Again, it's not like you're dying. But anyway, we're done for the week. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the Raptors show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Thanks once again to producer and co-host Alex Wong, Blake Murphy, producer Derek Randall, Jennifer Rolnick, David says, JR Manatad. We'll see you next week.